Good evening, friends. I am Dr. Jintu Borah, and today I am going to explain one of the famous metaphysical poems written by Donne. The name of the poem is Song Sweetest Love. Before tell about the poem, I want to tell something about Donne. Donne, he was the prominent poet of the metaphysical poets. He was born in a Catholic family, and he joined in politics. He became MLA, and uh, his father's name was also John Donne. Uh, he wrote many poems uh, which are uh, which are related to love, and his poems are characteristics uh, of a different kind, and which is known as metaphysical characteristics. And the metaphysical poems is a term coined by Dr. Samuel Johnson. And uh, in metaphysical poetry, we find conceit, and conceit is uh, extended. It is an extended metaphor. Okay, and here we find apparently dissimilar objects, and that dissimilar objects tell something which we can uh, think differently, but when we think deeply, then we find a similarity. Apparently dissimilar, but we find its similarity. So this is conceit, and there we find an abrupt beginning. Okay, abrupt beginning in the poems, and the poet, he talks about love, and in most of the poems we find he talks about platonic love. Okay, and his poems has the melody, has such logic of its own, that we find its beauty. In the sun rising, he compares the whole sphere of the sun, whole world within his own room. Okay, and such strange imagination we find in many of his poems. The good morrow, then the sun rising, and that be not proud. This is one of his poems which he wrote in his holy sonnet. In 17 holy sonnet, he wrote about his wife's death. Okay, he had 12 children, and he saw the death of his son, and he saw also he had to face, he has to endure the grief of the death of his wife, and therefore we find death poems. Okay, like Death Be Not Proud. Okay, now in the present poem we find that the poet is talking about love. Okay, the love he talks here, we can tell that it is somewhat the platonic love also, because the poet is going from far away from his lover. Still they will be connected. Okay, so let us begin the poem. Sweetest love, I do not go for worthiness of thee, Nor the world can show a, nor in hope the world can show a fitter love for me. So this I find in a BA, and I love the poem. Okay, not this poem, not only this poem. I love many of the many of the metaphysical poems, even the sonnets of Shakespearean sonnets. These poems I love very greatly. The melody, the meanings, and yes, this create a very good atmosphere, very imaginative world. So any poems lover will love the poems. Okay, so let us resume it. Ma- uh, Sweetest love, I do not go for worthiness of thee, nor in hope the world can show a fitter love for me. The poet, he wants to go away from his beloved, not because that he was worried, he, he disliked the love of his beloved, but he had to go. Therefore he wanted to go, because he also told that the world cannot show any better love, any fitter love than his beloved. But since that I must die at last, it's best to use myself in jest, thou by feigned deaths to die, thus by feigned deaths to die. So he realized that one day he will die. Therefore, in jest, he pretended that he dies, and how his beloved will live without him. Okay. Yesternight the sun went hence, and yet is here today. He has no desire nor sense, nor half so short a way. The sun, he does his duty. Yesternight he went, the sun went from the earth, therefore it was what? It was darkness. And then he came again. So in the morning, so it was day. The sun has no love. Still he returns. Okay, then fear not me, but believe that I shall make speedier journeys, since I take more wings and spurs than he. As the sun has no love, but the sun returns. But he loves someone, so why he will not return speedier than the sun? So he has the wings of desire. Okay, he loves his wife, therefore he will come shorter. Okay, in a shorter uh, time span than the sun. Oh, how feeble is man's power, that if good person fall, cannot add another hour, nor lost hour recall. Man's capacity is very small. Man cannot add the good hour. Okay, he cannot linger the happiest moment, and he cannot recall the lost hour. But comes bad suns, and we join to eat our strength. Itself over us to advance, and we join to eat our strength, and we teach it art and length itself over us to advance. We have to endure the bad hours, but we cannot make long the good hours. We cannot recall the lost hours. So we have the limited capacity. Therefore the poet, he tells that though he loves the time he spent with his beloved, he cannot make it more longer, because he has no capacity to make it long. When thou sighest not wind, when thou sighest my souls away. Okay, the sigh, the sudden relief of air. Okay, the uh, poet's beloved does not relieve the air, he relieves not wind, she relieves not wind, she relieves his soul away. When the weepest unkindly kind, my life's blood doth decay. When the poet's beloved weep unkindly kind, it was uh, kind but unkindly. She doth away, doth decay his life blood. That means he disliked the weeping of his beloved. It can be that thou lovest me as thou sayest, if in thine my life's the waste, thou art the best of me. The poet tells that she is the best part of uh, his life. So therefore he does not want that the uh, beloved of the poet will waste her time in weeping. Let not thy divining heart forethinking me any ill, destiny may take thy part. Okay. And may thy fears fulfill, but think that we are but turned aside to sleep. They who one another keep alive never parted be. It is like that the poet and the beloved, they are together and they are sleeping at night, but they turn their side, okay, and they are parted for that night only. Okay, they will soon meet. There is the indication that the meeting will be very soon. So this reminds us Kavita's poem Sakavi Visuri Rain I Mili Parabhat. The birds that parted at night, they also meet in the morning. Okay, so here we find many things that when the poet and the lover they will parted, there is the indication that they will meet soon, and this has the connection. We can say that this part is platonic love. Okay, and when the poet he tells that he will come shorter or in quick in very short span of time than the sun, then the sun he has done his duty, he departed at night and came in the morning. This reminds us the another poem of the same poet, the sun rising. Okay, the sun he arises and he disturbs the lover. Okay, there the poet scolded the sun, busy old fool unruly sun, why dost thou like this? Okay, so I think you enjoy the poem. If you like the poem, if you like the explanation, then uh, subscribe to this channel and press the like button, and do not forget to press the bell button so that you'll get the notification. Okay, bye bye, thank you.